this after we get finished, man. Yes.
All right. So we're live now, Tony. We are on LinkedIn. So how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Shawn. How's it going, man?
No complaints. Just here what do they call it? Shelter in place. Just working and hanging out with family, talking to good people like you. That's what's been keeping me busy. How about you?
Hey, same thing. We're here on the East Coast, and again, shelter in place for us as well. But I think this has been good in terms of allowing me to be able to get a lot of work done, a lot of focus. So from that standpoint, if we're helping to reduce the spread of COVID-19, and most importantly, helping to make sure we take care of those who we care about and who we love and are around us, it's all working.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what if we're gonna give people a little bit of time to hop into the live stream, but like what's been keeping you busy? What have you been working on?
Man, obviously COVID-19 came out of the blue and threw everyone a curveball, no matter what type of business you were running. And so, for us, we were actually teeing up this month to have our national conference in Atlanta later on this month. And so, since that time that obviously we ran into COVID-19, we've been essentially working with our partners, the hotels, and really just getting ready for our conference, which we announced the new date, September 16th through the 19th in the fall, still in Atlanta, Georgia. So like everybody, from a business standpoint, just moving the pieces, and most importantly, we've got some great, exciting initiatives that we're getting ready to launch here in the coming days that we'll hopefully be able to share a little bit about during our conversation today, just in terms of how we want to help the industry, how we want to help our communities, and most importantly, give back.
All right, cool. So we're gonna get started. So you mentioned, Tony, you keep saying we. Who's we? So tell us who we is, and tell us a bit about yourself, and then I have a few more questions that I want to get answered from you, and that'll be it. So who's we?
Yeah, so Namba is celebrating its 4th year anniversary this year, and we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Currently 2,500 plus individual members, and we have over 100 plus companies who are what I call partners of Namba. We is a small staff of about 6 full-time employees that work remotely throughout the country as well. And then we have a number of contractors that support us. But this is kind of our second full year as an organization. And I've just been excited to build and have people who join the vision, see the vision of what we're trying to do to impact our communities, to impact our industry, and to most importantly help individuals and companies leverage diversity as a competitive advantage. So we've got about 6 full-time employees that support the organization and our mission and our vision on a daily basis, as well as a number of contract employees that help us as well in certain other areas.
Understood. And what's Tony? What's your role with Namba? So number one, your role with Namba, and then what inspired you to kick off this initiative years ago? I remember meeting you. Back at Bus Boys and Poets in Washington, D.C., downtown. And
yes.
You called me up. We agreed to meet. I had no idea where you were going with this thing. I knew you were on to something. Didn't quite know exactly where it was going to go. So just publicly, I want to let you know and everybody else know how proud I am of you for, kicking this off. But also, I'm very proud to be a part of the organization. So can you just tell us your role and then, how this was birthed and came about?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Shawn, the essence and true spirit of Namba is what you just talked about, bringing together people from diverse backgrounds, industries, and connecting people to help them grow their business and their career. And so the organization got started because as I traveled around the country over the last 5 years, every time I would speak at conferences or have conversations with great mortgage professionals like yourself, the question would always come about, hey, do you see value in having an organization that would be nationwide, where there are like-minded people who could connect to help provide and give them the tools and resources that they would need to grow their business and their career, while at the same time being able to give back to our industry, being able to give back to introduce other young people to careers, because we all know that where you are today is a product of someone else helping to open the door for you in your career, 9 times out of 10. And so for me, that theme and that need and that desire for mortgage professionals and real estate professionals to have a common place, irrespective of your ethnicity, of your background, who you work for, really didn't matter. If you were a consummate learner and you wanted to grow your career and grow your business and give back to your community, that became the genesis of Namba.
All right. And so one of the things that's like really got me very, very excited. And last year, there was a lot of publicity and excitement around the fact, Tony, you took a group of college students, which in all the Namba events that, the national events that I've attended and been a part of, you've always invited the younger generation, because, we're not getting any younger in our industry. The industry is continuing to age. Outside of this last month that we've been in the business, that's probably added about 10 years onto my career, but in a good way. But our industry's aging, not getting any younger. But you took a group of students last year to the MBA conference, the Mortgage Bankers Association, to give them, access and to be able to get exposure to the inner workings of the mortgage industry and the people in the industry. And that's one thing that's really got me like super excited about the direction that Namba is going, because there's some very bright minds out there, and the way technology is evolving and such. That's the blood that we need in this industry to carry us forward. There's people that have all different, from different walks of life and ways of thinking that we really need to have in this industry. So can you tell us, I want to get real specific on this piece, connecting college students to the mortgage industry as well as real estate, like what's behind that and what is the initiative about?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Shawn. And, it's funny you mentioned the MBA and the college students. I was actually re-looking at last night a video. We did a recap video of these students, and, hearing their experience, hearing their excitement, hearing them talking about they never knew that there was a career, or they could have a career in real estate or finance. They never knew or thought about that. And when they heard about the careers, and they heard the CEOs, and they heard from people who had had a journey and been successful, that were speaking at our events, they became really excited about learning more about our industry. And then most importantly, they also was very appreciative about financial literacy. Oftentimes we, particularly communities of color, sometimes we learn financial literacy 101 the hard way and the wrong way, through mistakes. And so when I listened to that video last night of our recap of the students we took to the MBA conference in Austin back in October, it just really energized me and excited me and motivated me to even get more excited about what we're getting ready to do. And one of the things I also realized, though, those same students who we brought to the conference literally just 5 or 6 months ago, back in October, they are the same students right now that are getting ready to graduate, where they have so much fear, so much anxiety, and so much unknown, because 6 months ago, they were excited and on fire about their future and their job prospects. Today, a lot of those same students and many more students like them across every college and university across the country are now unsure. They now have more anxiety about their future, particularly if they are a college senior graduating next month. COVID-19 has thrown their career prospects into unknown territory. And obviously, for many of us, if you worked in the mortgage or real estate industry for any period of time, you know that there are always ups and downs, and this too shall pass. However, if you're a 22-year-old student that's coming out and you never understood an economic recession, you never understood an economic downturn. In fact, the last time that you were in an economic downturn, you were only 10 years old, and potentially that was a memory where you had your parents having to move out of their house and being foreclosed on, or their property being REO by the Great Recession that we caused. This is an opportunity right now where Namba is getting ready to announce an initiative called the hashtag Student Challenge. Let me take a step back. We've launched this year a 5-year plan to connect 50,000 students to careers in the industry and provide them with financial literacy education between now and 2025. Over the next 3 years, we are actually going to be launching Namba chapters on college campuses. And in 5 years, our vision is, and our goal and our desire is to not only have chapters of college campuses for students to get engaged with, understand what's going on in terms of career opportunities, financial literacy, but to help provide them a roadmap and an entry point and a connection point into a vast opportunity within both real estate and mortgage banking. In 5 years, as we look to go down that road, our plans calls for Mission 2025 to then go into the high schools, because right now it took us 10 years to get out of the Great Recession. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get out of this immediate economic downturn that we're in, but it took us 10 years to get out of the Great Recession. And so we know for the next decade that it's going to take us 10 years to make a positive impact to young people, particularly college students, students of color, because we are going to have to go first to the college level, but ultimately all the way down to the high schools to impact these students and help them understand information and get them the information that they need, that they can become more successful in terms of both careers, but also in terms of financial literacy. So to that end, recognizing there are 3.9 million students graduating next month who are uncertain about their future, we've taken Mission 2025 and we are essentially added some additional components, and we're going to put this on steroids. And every day and every morning that I get up for the next 6 months, I'm going to be focused on one thing, helping to make sure that these students know it's going to be okay, and that Namba and our industry is here for them. How are we going to do that, Shawn? It's really simple. We are going to be offering free webinars, free tools, free education, and free resources to any college students, but particularly college seniors, to help them in 4 primary areas. 1, introduction to the real estate industry and opportunities within the real estate and real estate finance industry. 2, providing financial literacy in regards to understanding their credit, the importance of managing debt. 3rd, we're going to be providing them free resources through our strategic partnerships around resume preparation, interviewing skills, pre and post strategies on how to build your network in a COVID environment. Because even once we as a country get back going again as an economy, we know that it still will take some time for these students to find jobs. So we're going to help provide them with the resource to understand how to navigate and how to build their brand, their network, helping them with their LinkedIn, being able to get out and market themselves. And then last but not least, a very important component is going to be mental wellness, because most college students, particularly those of color, are graduating with an abundance of student loan debt. They're graduating with additional debt that they thought they would be walking into a job in May or June and they would be able to afford that car payment, some of the other things that they may have went out and charged up over the last year. And therefore, we want to help them mentally make it through this situation of uncertainty, both from an economic standpoint and uncertainty from a financial standpoint, by providing them the mental health wellness and the support that they would need from a mental health standpoint to see this through. That's what we're going to be focused on. That's just one of the things, but that's a big part of what we're going to be focused on at Namba for the rest of the year.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a lot. So I've been getting a bunch of responses so far on LinkedIn. And so Tony, will there be with this initiative a way for us to send information out, like when it launches? Like when do you anticipate like having some sort of a formal launch with this?
No, hey, great question. Absolutely. So next week, April 15th is the launch date. And there are a couple things that people can help us do that we need to get the word spread across the country. So the first is we're going to have a resource that as an individual, you can sign up to help be a volunteer, to help us in this mission, to, connect with students and encourage these students, talk about your careers as we do our webinars and the resources that we offer these students throughout the course of the year. As an individual, you will be able to get involved. The second thing is we need you to get this information to your companies, because we need the companies to step up and stand up and support this. And I'll say this. I know right now, every company is trying to figure out how we're going to make it through COVID-19. But as a leader, as a company, we've been here and we know that we will see this through, and that this too shall pass. But I believe we have an obligation to the people who are coming behind us to help them in this economic crisis, something that we did not do in the last economic crisis. They saw us at our worst. This economic crisis, Shawn, I want them to see us at our best. And while we can say that I'm proud to be a mortgage banker, I'm proud to be a real estate agent, I'm proud to work in this industry, and we're going to help you through this. So we need employees to connect us with their companies to get their companies engaged. And then last but not least, we will have tools and resources for everyone to hand out and to connect and provide to students, whether they are freshman, sophomore, junior, or they're graduating. These resources will be free to any students. This database will be ongoing so that when corporations are looking for talent, even if it's next year, they're going to be able to connect and look and be able to help these young students. But we need to get the word out to all the colleges and universities, and everyone knows someone in college, and most probably everyone knows someone that's getting ready to graduate in May that may not have a job. We need them to make sure they get this information to those students.
Got it. That's awesome. Nothing like this was around when I was in school. I tell a story about the fact I love like wearing T-shirts. Like I really like T-shirts. And what makes me even more thinking about the T-shirts now is when I was in college, I walk into the student union building and there's people in there that are dangling their T-shirts. And what comes with those T-shirts are credit cards, because they're giving you the T-shirt to apply for a credit card. And let's just say I took a great deal of those credit cards that were being offered to me. And so programs like this didn't exist, at least that we had access to, that I had access to. And, hindsight looking back, something like this would have given me a much better start in regards to the financial literacy piece and building wealth. And so I applaud you, Tony, for putting this together. One other thing I'd like to say is I'm very proud of our industry too as well. Almost all of us have deployed our employees to actually work from home, and we haven't quite skipped a beat. I mean, it's been difficult and there has been some challenges, and on top of the fact that right before the national emergency happened, we did about 3 months worth of volume, Tony. in 3 days. So it was historically, low interest rates, historically best volume in our industry, on top of the fact that we'd have a pandemic happen right after that. So we're still closing loans. We're still helping a lot of people. And I just applaud everybody for pulling and fighting together. And so getting into the next phase, the college piece is awesome. Every time I talk to you, that's all I talk about is how can we help the college students. But in regards to the originators that are still in the business, working in a part of Namba and in the industry, like I know professional development is also a big piece of Namba's mission. Can you tell us more about what that means to you and why that's important to Namba in regards to the professional development in our industry?
Yeah, absolutely, Shawn. And by the way, you weren't the only person who had those multiple credit cards when you first went into college and signed up that first week. So don't think you were alone. Hence is one of the reasons why our Mission 2025 has a financial literacy education piece, because we want students to understand the ramifications of those. But you weren't alone, so just make sure you know that, brother.
Okay, next time I'm going to wear a big T-shirt on there when we talk. So yeah, thank you.
Right. So absolutely, you're right. Namba's here for the professional, and looking in hindsight, one of the reasons why I started this organization was I wanted to connect people, because I knew that our organization will always be a cyclical organization, and it is important for people to have relationships. It's important for people to continue to develop themselves even when the market is great. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing outside of the student challenge of helping students is we're going to be focused on those individuals who are employed in the industry and coming to the market in May with free webinars that if you're an originator, we're going to be bringing in some of the best sales trainers, as well as top originators who will be at our conference in September to show you what they're doing in a post-COVID, pre-COVID environment, show you what they're doing to be able to still go out and get business. The second thing that we're doing is we're going to be having, I'm going to be conducting what I call some mini town halls, bringing in some of the industry key stakeholders from various GSEs, the NBA, other organizations, to help everyone understand where we are today and how we're going to navigate through this period of uncertainty and change over the next 12 months. And we're going to be offering those town hall opportunities and one-on-ones with me talking to some of our industry professionals and stakeholders and influencers. We're going to bring that straight to the market so that people can get a good sense of understanding what's going on. And then lastly, we will also want to focus on, and we'll be focusing on, making sure that we can give originators the tools and resources to grow their business. So we have two exciting products and tools and resources, I'll call them, for the originator that can help them focus on getting more purchase environment. Obviously, the purchase market is going to have to be rebooted. And so what that means is if you're an originator, you need to be thinking about your go-to-market post-COVID-19 purchase strategy. We are going to offer, apologize for that. We're going to offer a couple of resources. One, helping originators to be able to understand where the business in their market is headed from a purchase standpoint over the next 2 to 3 years. And most importantly, who are the agents that are doing those that business that they can connect to. A second tool and resource that we're going to be launching coming up very soon is also an opportunity for originators and companies to be able to have a roadmap on how to develop a marketing plan, how to develop a communication plan, and most importantly, a way to market themselves on social media to be able to attract purchase business. So we're going to be focused on helping the originator, helping operations professionals, giving them the professional development that they need, giving them the business training that they need so that they can go out there and grow their business and grow their career.
Right. That's a great point, Tony. You mentioned operations professionals. I've had a couple of comments in the comment section here. You don't have to be a loan officer or a salesperson to be a part of Namba. We have chapters all over the country. I happen to be the president of the Greater Maryland chapter, so we have an organization in the state of Maryland. So operations. We have salespeople, realtors can be a part of this as well. So in different affiliates, but you don't have to be a sales person to be a part of Namba. Just involved in the real estate and mortgage industry. So did I miss anything about that, Tony? Like in regards to who can be a part of Namba?
No, you're absolutely right. That's something that we're very focused on, is trying to get the word out in the operations community that Namba is for you. Because I mean, let's be honest, Shawn. Operations employees, apologize again, operations employees, they experience more turbulence in terms of job cuts, in terms of furloughs, in terms of layoffs than an originator. If you're an originator, you can go somewhere else and pretty much go wherever you want if you're a good originator. And that's what we want to do. We want to help people at Namba go from good to great. Conversely, if you're in operations or other areas that you can't necessarily control your own destiny, this is where our tagline is connect, grow, lead. It's important. We've had stories over stories of people who joined Namba. They came to some of our events and now they're working for another company, or they've got a new opportunity, or they developed a new connection that helped them in the future. And I always tell people when I'm talking to them about careers and how to navigate and grow their careers, build your connections before you need them, not when you need them. And that's what this is all about right now, guys. We want to help you build your connections today so that in the next economic downturn, or when you're ready to take your career in a different route, you have that connection to draw upon.
Yeah, this is great. If you're those of you that are listening in, so real quick, Tony, Fabiola, shout out in Chicago, yes, says hello. So they say hello, guys. Chicago is excited about this. Namba # Chicago. And so let me see if I have any other questions in here. Tony, I think that hits it. In regards to the events, the conference has been postponed, and I know we're going to be doing the mini town halls to replace that, and that's going to happen at the end of this month, I think you said.
Yeah, we're starting the end of this month. The first one is going to be on Friday, April the 23rd, which is the original date of the conference. So we got a major town hall with a lot of key industry speakers. It's going to be 3 hours long, but it's going to be worth it, guys, because we're bringing the people that you need to hear from. We're bringing them to one location. And so, yes, if you can, check that out. People can learn more about Namba, the Mission 2025, the Student Challenge that's coming up. You just simply go to namba.org, namba.org to learn more. And before I close out, Shawn, let me just say, mentioning Chicago, which is one of our great chapters, and all the great chapters we have around the country, Namba would not be where we are today without people like you, people like Fabiola, and all of our folks who have connected to say, you know what, I believe in what you're saying, I believe in what we're doing, and most importantly, this is needed in our industry, and it's needed in our community. And so I want to thank everybody who has joined Namba. I want to thank everybody who's on our boards and participate in supporting our organization. The beautiful thing about what we're doing and what I see is we are building something for the next generation, and to be able to look back years from now and say, I was a part of helping to launch that organization. Hopefully for many people involved will be something that they would be proud of and something that they would be excited to say. And I appreciate the folks who have stepped up and said, count me in.
Hey, Tony, this was awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to get with us. We're just know that we'll be able to share this live stream. It's going to be recorded too as well. And I would just encourage everybody just to continue to stay home because it's going to help us protect each other. And then we can get back out a lot sooner if we, keep continuing to practice our social distancing. I just hope everybody's doing well. If there's anything that we can do on my side to help, just let us know. Anyone that's interested as well in Namba, specifically in the Maryland area, Maryland, Washington, D.C., you can get in touch with me, and we'll make sure that we can keep you active in that. And then just like Tony mentioned, Nammba.org, you can go to get an idea of what the national chapter looks like. So I hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe, and we will see you next time. Thanks again, Tony.
Great. Thank you, Shawn. Take care, everyone.